Hi dear students, electric field we have already discussed. If you consider any positive charge or negative charge, it creates an electric field in space. We know that. And we have the mathematical expression to calculate the electric field intensity at a particular point, right? So these things we have already discussed. And also we have seen the superposition principle to calculate the net force when you have a system of charges in space or collection of charges or group of charges in space. At one particular charge, what will be the net force? That can be determined using the superposition principle. Here also the same superposition principle is applied to calculate the net electric field due to the system of charges or group of charges or collection of charges. So first of all, let us write the expression for electric field for a single charge, which can be written as in vector form as kq divided by r square into r cap. So this is the vector form of an electric field due to a single charge q. E is equal to k, where k is a constant which is known as k is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0, because we have the charges in space. Here we have more number of charges. For example, see, you carefully understand the diagram. Everything you can understand from the diagram. So it is not very simply a diagram. So there are lot of informations in the diagram. So we have a point P here at which we are going to find out the net electric field or the resultant electric field due to the many charges, due to the system of charges. Here I have Q1, Q2, Q3. For example, I have taken 3 charges here. This is given in your textbook. The corresponding distances from the point P, Q1 is situated at a distance R1P cap. It is a unit vector along this direction. R2 P cap is a unit vector along this direction. R3 P cap is the unit vector along the direction, right? See the interesting thing. All the charges are not at equal distance from the point P. All are at different distances. In fact, Q1 is at a short distance compared to other distances. And Q2 is long distance compared to other distance. And Q3 is between the two distances. The distance lies between the two distances. It is not too much short and too much long. That we have to understand first. We know that electric field is inversely proportional to square of distance. Okay. So when the distance is very small, the electric field strength will be much more high. So here this is the shortest distance when we consider the point. So the electric field at this point will be very much high. So that is represented by a long arrow mark. That is, we have drawn 3 arrow marks in black ink 1, 2, 3. In which E1P vector due to the charge Q1 is represented by a long arrow. Similarly, the long distance Q2 is situated at a long distance. Therefore, it should be represented by a short arrow. It is represented by short arrow. And what about Q3? The distance is neither too short nor too long. Therefore, the length should be between this and this. Then that is represented by E3P. So we have 3 electric fields at a point P. So how to find out the resultant electric field? You know very well, in 11th standard we have seen the law of triangle to find the resultant of the two vectors. How we calculated? When you have a vector like this P vector, and when we have a vector Q vector, so initially we will have 2 vectors. This is P vector and this is Q vector. So when we have vectors in 2 different directions, the one vector, tail of the one vector is attached with the head of the another vector, and this, to find the resultant, the tail is joined with the head in reverse order. This is called a law of triangle. In the same methodology, we are going to find out the vector sum of all the fields to find the resultant field, right? So first let us consider this point starting point. Okay, you draw the parallel line for the first E2P vector. So the same length, and it is represented by dotted lines. And then we have, what is this? E3P. So E3P is parallel to this one. So you draw the parallel lines with the same length E3P vector, and that is also represented by this one. So now we have three vectors, 1, 2, 3 vectors corresponding to three different electric fields. So now this is the tail, right? This is the tail. To find the resultant, this is the head of the all the three vectors joined together, and you join the tail with the head. So you will get a resultant of all the electric fields, and that is represented by E total vector. That's it. It's very, very simple thing. So we have three vectors. One is E1P original. We start from head, you draw the parallel line and you put a arrow mark. So this is equal length, and you draw the parallel line for E3P, and that is also represented by arrow mark with equal length, and join the point which is at a tail, and join with the head of all the three vectors joined together. You will get the total electric field. Now let us write down the total electric vector. So it is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is a constant. So first charge Q1 divided by R1 P square into R1 P cap plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. It is Q2 divided by R2 P square R2 P cap. In this way you can go up to n charges, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Qn divided by Rn P square Rn P cap. Okay ba? But here we have only three charges, therefore the total electric field will be E1P vector plus E2P vector plus E3P vector. So generally when you have n number of charges, the total electric field, how I have written this? This is by this expression. Actually this is E1P vector plus E2P vector plus E3P vector, okay, plus etc. plus ENP vector. So this is the general formula. Here I have written for each and every electric field we have written. So you can simplify this as E vector total is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is the constant. Sum over, you can represent this by summing, okay. From I is equal to 1 to n, you start from here. Qi, you put index number Qi divided by Rip square into Rip cap. So this is the representation of the sum of all the electric fields, and that will give you the total electric field. Is it correct? So E vector total is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 sum over I is equal to 1 to n Qi by Rip square into Rip cap. So if you expand, you will get this one. When you put I is equal to 1, you will get Q1 by R1 P square R1 P cap. When you put I is equal to 2, you will get Q2 by R2 P square R2 P cap, and so on. If you put I is equal to n, you will get Qn by Rn P square into Rn P cap. So that is the representation of the total electric field, and this is so called the superposition principle to calculate the electric field, which is very, very important concept. So what we have done in the in finding the total electric force, the same thing here we are applying. So the superposition principle is nothing but to find the resultant electric field, we make vector sum of all the individual electric fields due to the individual electric charges in the system of charges given in space, right? Okay, thank you.